GSL. In the service of ire.
Welcome back to the GSL Code A. I am Draco. With me is Krillin, and our next match is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss. It is SOS up against Seed. Look at all the fans we got here today.
Yep, Corner party actually. So many of them here today. That's actually really nice. But well, guys, we have a Protoss versus Protoss coming up with a champion. It is Seed against SOS. Here's of course the result that we just had around earlier with Sirius against Sniper. Sniper made it look easy against the FX Ozark. It was a little bit disappointing for Sirius, who was able to defeat players like MMA just around earlier. But yeah, unfortunately for him, Sniper just proved to be the better ZVZ player and advances to Codes. Now we have the champion up against SOS once more, ESF versus Caspar.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty awesome. SOS looking really good so far this season at Code A. But Seed, man, he is just Seed. That's all there is to say.
Yeah.
He didn't get in from a Seed. He came in because he had a anomaly result in his Code S group in the round of 16.
Seed is a monster. SOS, on the other hand, did fairly well in the last few games that he played. Has a pretty decent win ratio, but of course he doesn't have nearly as many games recorded as his opponent, and therefore it's not really the best thing to base the assumptions on if he's going to win or not. Here we have a Moonjing Stars SOS versus LGIM as Seed PvP. Map number 1 is going to be Entombed Valley.
Oh, and this is going to be a pretty exciting match. Like I said it before, I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it tomorrow when I watch a different StarCraft tournament that we won't be casting, but I have to say that this is looking like it's going to be pretty awesome because Seed won a Protoss versus Protoss finals against none other than MC. He knows how to play the matchup, he knows how to prepare, don't want to mess with this guy.
Yeah, the thing is that for SOS, it's really a little bit unfortunate that he meets the champion here. On the other hand, we've seen a lot of upsets in the past few weeks, and SOS, man, he took down Sparta, okay?
Yeah.
It was madness.
It was madness, man. It was no easy feat. And Seed is still, like myself, having the new hair color. It is also like mine, slightly faded now, but there's an extra look that comes with the fade, and a lot of people really like that. Some people like to retouch.
Seed is the boss, so is SOS. Let's get this party started. Entombed Valley is the first map in this best of 3 in our Protoss mirror. We have SOS up against Seed here, the GSL Code A, the third round. Who's going to advance to Code S? Will Seed claim his spot? Will he have to go through the up and downs? We're going to find out right now. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, we're going to find out right now. Don't go anywhere. I don't care how bad you got to pee. Just hold on a second.
Starting to the top right. At first he was really shy. Now he matured a little bit.
He finds himself stranded.
He finds himself stranded in this game, and he's signaling. SOS. I can't believe production got that.
Yeah, awesome. They were on top of it now.
Yeah, they definitely were. Kudos to the production team, especially Jay and of course Legend, who is not here today, by the way.
He's not.
To the bottom right, we have the champion. One of the strongest pros you will ever see in Korea, even though there are quite a lot of them. In the blue starts the LGIM player. He is
LGIM Seed.
a very strong Protoss. One thing that always amazes me, it amazed me months ago, and it will probably still amaze me when I'm like really old, talking to my grandchildren, is his mindset. It's crazy. This guy, after he loses, the first thing that he does is he offers you an interview, which nearly no pro gamer does. He will talk about what he did wrong. He will talk about what he thinks his opponent did better. He has just this perfect mindset. He is always motivated. He's one of the guys who really starts to work with his team. Individual league is important for him, but since he's been a champion, he says like team league is actually my priority right now. I want to help my team to achieve victory. He's a great guy, great mindset, and he's exactly what esports needs.
Yeah, he certainly is. He really reminds me of Nada almost. He's like the new Protoss Nada or something, if I had to make a comparison to an old StarCraft 1 Pro. Now, he is going for the 2-in-2 gas back in his main base. He went into the Forbidden Forest. He met Naniwa there, and he told him that that was a really good strategy, so he decided to stick with it. And this strategy, of course, allows you to get a little bit more gas than if you had just one refinery, but it doesn't sacrifice a lot. And, whoa, that was weird. I thought maybe he was going to try to surround that probe, decided not to there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened here, but of course, I mean, it's obvious that he messed up a little bit. He didn't lose too much mining time, but this is something that you will rarely see.
Yeah, that's just very uncharacteristic. But we're now finished.
Has a lot of energy here on this Nexus, and starts chrono boosting his core immediately.
You can actually do tricky plays with this build. You can see the chrono boost using by both players on Warpgate Research right now.
Yeah.
Then they're both actually basically doing the same builds. A little bit faster second gas, 4 seed, but everything else is the same.
It's definitely identical here. The production tab shows it, and of course the unit composition and also the numbers are the same.
Another chrono boost used on Warpgate Research for SOS though, whereas Seed used 2 more on his Nexus now, so he uses 1 more on his Cybernetics Royce, the last one, until this one finishes now. We'll see what he wants to use it on. It's going to be Core.
And we have a double sentry now for SOS. Wants to either start his tech or go for an expansion. I mean, on this map we've seen techs, especially the Stargate play has been a lot more common these days. Very popular. Yeah, mostly on a bit smaller maps like Daybreak and Ohana.
People are really figuring out Phoenix play more and more.
But you can see that Seed wants to be a bit more aggressive. He's getting Stalkers, and here comes the expansion for SOS. That's why he needs the sentries.
He may add a Twilight Council now as well, but he's going to go for Robo instead. This is a really safe way to play all around, but it may put him behind, as right now, so is SOS adding his own Robo. So they're both going to have the same tech, just that one player will have a Nexus, one player will not, and it's all going to come down to the Force Fields and the scouting of Seed. If he doesn't really force his way up that ramp to see if there's a Nexus there, he's going to find himself a little bit in the dark. He's not going to quite know what his opponent is doing for a little bit. And you know, when you're in the know, you're able to make the best choices possible, but when you're sitting back trying to be defensive and safe, you don't always get that information.
Yeah, Seed is now getting his additional gateway, and his Robo is nearly completed. He's playing this a little bit more cautious right now. He's not getting the expansion. If SOS is able to get ahead in economy and he will in defense, he will be in an awesome spot. Seed is... I know, I expected him to either go for a faster expansion or go for a lot of aggression, to be honest with you.
He's just too safe here. He's even getting the Observer out right now. He has no idea about the Nexus. The only thing he knows is that his opponent has 2 gates like he did. Doesn't even know the robotics has been made. And it's a little bit worrisome when you play this blind in this matchup. You can find yourself either really ahead if your opponent takes a risk, or really behind. It's a gamble.
Look at this supply block, by the way.
Well, that's a pretty big one.
He's heavily supply blocked. He didn't even start his pilot. He will most likely start a Nexus right now with all the minerals that he has floating, but still, he can't produce any additional units. So that will supply block him for quite a while. That's the Nexus, but still, he needs the pilot. There it is.
Yeah, he's not making this for a really long time. And this is what I'm talking about. You know, now he's seen the Nexus and he's probably thinking, whoa, I'm way behind.
And
he's clicking on those mineral patches.
Immediately the robotics bay.
Yeah. He knows, he's like, well, I definitely can't just sit here and be like, ah, well, his Nexus is up first, that's fine. I'll just maybe catch up. That will never happen. He's got to take a risk. He's got to get that robotic support bay out and try to put some pressure on with his first Colossus.
Yeah, this is starting to get a bit awkward for Seed. Like, really awkward. SOS is in a great position here.
Yeah, this is definitely awkward. It's kind of like when you find out you weren't invited to that really awesome birthday party, but all your friends were. It feels a little bit uncomfortable. You're not really sure what to do.
Yeah.
You're like, do I be aggressive here? Do I talk to my friend and say, you know, why wasn't I invited? Or do you just try to say, you know what, I don't really need those people. I'm too cool for that party anyways.
Did they just forget to invite me? Did
Yeah.
they assume I would be there anyway, so they didn't have to?
Yeah, should you have, been a little bit nicer to him in recent times, so you invited you feel awkward. You're not really sure what to do. This is how he feels right now.
Yeah, and SOS adds his own robotics bay. He will have the Colossus a little bit later, but the thing is that Seed will have to walk across the map if he wants to be aggressive. So right now, I don't know. SOS has the better work account, of course. He's also in a position where he saturated his second mineral line a lot faster.
This probe over here on the right side could be very useful for forward warpins. He hasn't added a pylon yet, but he will likely will. and this is going to be his warping point for his aggression. He's going to go with one Colossal, looks like, but he only has 4 gates. You know, sometimes you want to go up to 6 when you really want to commit. And even though the base has been up longer for SOS, he hasn't mined any gas yet. So the Colossus count is not going to be drastically in his favor. He's not going to be able to add a second Robo much faster because he just hasn't gotten that extra gas. In fact, Seed right now is taking his assimilators first.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that Seed took an advantage, a lead in the worker count, because SOS right now is not getting any additional harvesters. He completely cut the worker production there for a while. And that's the window that Seed used in order to get ahead.
Yeah. And this attack is really, really scary, but I think he just has enough Zealots. There's no range on the Colossus. He will lose the Observer, but that's not going to affect this too much. There's way too many Zealots for SOS. He shouldn't even care about this. You can actually just fight. He's being actually a little bit too defensive, I feel, and Seed's Force Fields are really bullying him, but now the Colossus is out.
The Force Fields were really, really well executed, but with the Colossus, Seed has to fall back, and that's what he does here. Oh, wow, he might actually lose one of his Immortals if he doesn't pay attention. A nice Force Field in attempting to save the Immortal.
Yeah, the problem is, of course, that his army is just going to continue to chase. I think he will definitely lose at least half of those hit points on the Immortal. And he turns around, in fact, to try to save it. That was risky. He takes a shot on his Colossus with an Immortal.
And SOS is certainly on the move now. He wants to be aggressive, wants to move in, and here we go. The battle starts, and those 2 Immortals are already low in HP.
Yep, and the Immortals of SOS are going to be able to close the distance to take out these Colossi. I just don't see him defending here. He doesn't have enough buffer. The probes are going down. The Immortals at the front look a little bit weird here. They're not able to fight, and I think this is going to be the end of Seed game number 1.
The 2 Colossi, the second one that just popped, that's the one thing that keeps Seed alive here. He's trying to pull this off somehow, but he's already down to 54 supply. Against 90, SOS is moving in, not so shy this time.
Yeah, not at all. And this is going to be it for Seed. He just does not have enough. The Immortal is taking a lot of hits here, but he pulls it back. Nice Piker there.
The harvest account is so low for Seed right now. He lost everything, and there's the GG.
Wow. Wow, indeed. Really nicely done. SOS pulling it through, just taking the advantage he had. He's like, wait a minute. That's way too few units. I'm actually just going to chase down with the Colossus that pops out. That was awesome, actually. Seed playing really blind, and he paid for it.
Seed playing a bit timid in the early game, didn't take any risks. SOS was rewarded for his faster Nexus. So Seed finds himself at a disadvantage, down the game already.
Now this is very uncomfortable for him.
That's not what I expected, not at all. Not with the performance that we've seen out of Seed in the WCS Asia against Protoss, and also at, of course, WCS Korea.
He's just such a favorite here. And whenever you're the favorite like this, especially playing against a Kesper player, for example, you feel a lot of pressure that isn't normally there. For example, the game we saw last game, yeah, Sniper is quote-unquote the favorite because he was in Codas, he's falling down. But he's playing against Sirius. The gap between their perceived value and how many wins they have and the top results they have is not as big as the gap between these players. This guy came in from Code B. This is his first time playing in the GSL against the GSL champion. That is a lot of pressure on Seed to definitely win. He's going to show, yeah, I am the champion of last season, and I'm still good. I haven't lost anything.
The players are ready. Whirlwind is going to be a map, a huge map, and Seed will definitely not be too happy with what happened on Entombed Valley. Let's find out how good what he's going to do on the next map. Is he going to take a risk? Is he going to play it safe? SOS, though, opening things with a very heavy hit against Seed. Let's see if the LGIM player has the stamina to go into a third game and take it, advance to Kodessa. If we have the Kesper player taking the slot. The game has started. We are on a Whirlwind. This is the GSL, ladies and gentlemen, the third round of Code A. This is the day where it counts. Up and downs or straight into Goddess. We're finding out right now. Seed up against SOS. The games are brought to you by Carlo and Wolf. Green commentators, wrap it up. I'm out of ideas. Thank you.